Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am back with a conspiracy video. So many of you love when I dip into sci-fi on this channel, and I've heard some of your conspiracy theories, and this is one of the most fun type of videos for me to do. So I ran across this video on TikTok. It says, what's the biggest conspiracy you believe to be true no matter what anyone says? So I was looking through the comment section and I saw all these conspiracy theories, and I said, you know what? I want to do a video showing their conspiracy theories, and I want to give you my opinion about these conspiracy theories. So look, if there are any conspiracy theories that you have, leave them in the comment section. I might even do a call-in show where people can call in about their conspiracy theories, because I love this when it comes to aliens, time travel, portals, werewolves, sirens, mermaids, Anunnaki, Illuminati, so much. So I'm really into that type of stuff. I don't often talk about it a lot. And so I'm talking about it today on this video. So let's jump right in and let's look at some of these conspiracy theories that people have. Okay, so let's start off with the first conspiracy theory. Someone says there is another planet in some galaxy that is exactly like us. You're telling me there's a bajillion galaxies, but only one human life planet? There is no way. I agree. I believe this too. There is no way that there are so many galaxies, like they said. We're like sand in the galaxies. There is just no way. I don't believe it. Even if I don't even think there are some aliens that need water and oxygen to live. They're on a whole different planet. They're not the same as us. I believe that every single planet in our galaxy and outside of our galaxy has organisms on it. And I do believe we're not as old as we think we are. There are planets that's much older that have life on it. I do believe that there are different life forms that have been on Earth, humanoids, aliens, all that stuff. I believe it. I believe that we are not alone. Look up when you go to bed at night, open your window and look up at the sky. You see the stars. You see it. Come on. There's just no way. And in your heart and soul, I know a lot of you know this and believe this within your heart and soul. People will bring up religion, and there are different religions on the earth, but in the Bible, it does say that there's the heavens. Heaven's a space to me, and that there are different kingdoms in heaven. To me, those kingdoms would be different planets, the different planets in the heavens above, the different galaxies and everything like that. I don't believe that God only made one type of intelligent being. I mean, look at the planet that we're on. You have a beautiful fur baby cat, a little puppy, a lizard, a horse, a pig, a bird, different species all over the place. So why on earth would that not be on another planet? Come on now. So yeah, I believe that there is life on other planets, okay? The second conspiracy theory someone said is that most mattress stores are drug fronts. I have heard this before from someone, like, you hardly barely ever see anyone buying a mattress that much, and how are they staying in business? How are they making money? I've heard this about the jewelry stores in the mall that you see with all the bracelets and the necklaces, but you barely ever see anyone buying it, but yet they're always open, that these are fronts. It could be possible. It could be possible. I'm not going to say 100% that is true, but I do feel like it's very possible that they are pill fronts. I have to say pill fronts, okay? So, all right, the third conspiracy, that aliens are already here and look like humans, and we don't notice it except their behavior, like when we see someone doing something really weird or something, or I've heard this before. I've heard that the government has explored and discovered many humanoid alien species that do look like humans. I don't know. I used to believe in the whole Area 51 stuff. They got them locked up. They're under the they're in a lab somewhere, or in the Smithsonian, or the scientists are running tests. Area 51, Roswell happened. They got the aliens. And a part of me still does believe it. I'm being honest with you. I believe that there are aliens that look human. Yes, I saw a video where a man said that the government has discovered other aliens and they're trying to figure out why do they all look humanoid? So many of them, you would think that we would look very different, but why is there a similarity? I mean, you have the face on Mars. No one knows for sure. We can all guess and wonder, but I believe it. I believe it because I've even seen animals and humans that look similar. Seriously, I've seen animals that I've seen people who look like them. So, look, it's not hard for me to believe that an alien could look like a human. It's not. Okay, the next conspiracy theory is that there's a hidden civilization in Antarctica and a bunch of undiscovered things. I would have to say that's very possible. I had shared the video about Emerald Bird who flew past Antarctica and said that he saw trees and a mammoth and all types of stuff that was not supposed to be there. The fact that the government has Antarctica banned, like you can't even go to certain parts, you can't. That speaks volumes to me. Now, they claim that they're trying to protect Antarctica from people messing with it, and that might be true, but I think there's also some truth that maybe they're hiding something, that maybe there is something beyond the poles, and honestly, I don't think we will ever know. I'm sorry to tell you this, but unless you are a super rich person and you have access to the best planes and scientists in the world, the average person is never going to know. I mean, this is a big planet. I find it hard to believe that there's nothing out there. I mean, there even in the ocean, there have been reports of seeing UFOs coming out of the ocean. There's no reason for me to believe that advanced aliens don't know how to live in Antarctica, build something. Maybe the government and them have some sort of treaty where they're over there and you can't go past a certain point because it's a whole, yeah, like they said, a civilization over there. And I don't know why the government doesn't want humans to know. Maybe because they know most humans would try to get over there and like, we're escaping this place. We don't want to pay bills anymore. We're going over there and discover a new way of life. But you might be frightened with what you see. Believe me, if some of you were to see an alien for real, and it looks like the pictures with those big old eyes and stuff, you would faint or have a heart attack. A number of you seeing something like that. So not everyone is prepared to see it. So, but I want to know the truth. And I know so many of you want to know the truth, okay? Another conspiracy theory is that Earth is actually hell. I have heard this before, and it's not very hard always to believe it all. Look at our world. Look at our world. Look what's going on. I just read about the Sudan again, which I talked about before, where they're raping 1 year olds and stuff in the Sudan, which is hell on earth in different parts of the world. Fighting each other constantly, natural disasters, selling children off to be married at 9 years old, cannibalism, stuff, toxins in the water and the food. It's not hard to believe it. It's not hard to believe it at all. And then again, I mentioned there are different religions, but if you go by the Bible, it even says that I'm going to give the devil earth. So where do you live? You live on earth. And what kind of world do you see? Racism, tribalism, women not safe anywhere, men always fighting, the polar bears drowning, climate change, FGM, child marriage, beating your wife, uh, all types of just horrendous things you see every single day here. So is Earth hell? To some people, it is. To some people, it is. And I have my own theories on that. Um, and sometimes, yes, I can believe that. I can believe that. But some people will say, oh, no, heaven and hell is a state of mind. Baby, the fact that you have to try to be on heaven, have your mind programmed a certain way when you live in an environment that we live in, that is cruel in my opinion. I think it's cruel, oh, you can be in heaven on earth, but I'm going to place you on earth where I have all this horrendous stuff happening every day around you. And the only way you can be happy is if you pretend that it's all good and you're in heaven and think positive thoughts, and then you can have happiness in hell. You can have happiness all around you while we're also having missing children and all this stuff around you too every day too. I just find that to not be realistic and craziness to me. But some people do feel that way, that Earth is HELL. Okay. The next conspiracy theory is that Luigi is the fall guy. The CEO that got murked, the United Healthcare, people don't think that Luigi really did it. You know, I have to say, when I saw the photographs, the smile did look different. The smile looked different. It didn't look like the same person. They caught him very quickly, which was very interesting. But you're not hearing anything about it. You notice how the news just isn't talking about it much. They're like hurrying up with the case. Let's just lock this dude up. No, what's going on with the trial? Where's the evidence that it's him? Where's the fingerprint matches? Tell the public something. The fact that they're just being so quiet about it and just trying to lock this guy up without us knowing anything definitely raises an eyebrow. Okay, the next conspiracy theory is that the Mandela effect is a test to see how much they can change history right in front of us. The Mandela effect is a test to see how much they can change history right in front of us. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure of what the Mandela effect is. I'm looking that up on my phone right now. I thought I had that. I've never heard of this before. I cannot wait to hear some of your opinions about the Mandela effect. Okay. It says that the Mandela effect is a term used to describe when a large group of people misremember an event or a fact. For example, many people mistakenly believe that Curious George has a tail. Okay, so the Mandela effect again is a term used to describe when a large group of people misremember an event or a fact, like somebody swiped your memory. So they're saying the Mandela effect is a test to see how much they can change history in front of us. So they are erasing things and right in front of us. I don't feel any different. I feel the same every day. I remember events that oddly barely get talked about, like that plane that flew over Malaysia and no one ever found the people. The media doesn't talk about it. It's like it never happened, but it did happen. September 11th was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. I will remember it to the day I pass away. And I find it odd that it barely gets talked about anymore. Okay, Brian Laundrie is 100% alive somewhere. That's the guy that had murked his girlfriend, his fiance. I don't know if he's alive. Luigi isn't the guy who got the CEO. Like I said, I'm not sure, but I do find it odd that you're not hearing about it in the media that much. The evidence that they have against him, they're not talking about it. Okay, another conspiracy is that the new technology is introduced in movies. So when it comes out, people don't freak out. I don't know. I can't really think of any technology that I've seen, high-tech technology that's out, that's been on a sci-fi movie type of thing. But I can believe that a little bit. A little bit. Like I'm thinking of that movie with Tom Cruise when what was that movie he was in when they could predict a crime before it happened? Like they were using psychics' brains and they hooked it up to like some sort of computer thing and they could predict things. So there wasn't a lot of crime on Earth because they caught them before it even happened. I can't remember the name of that movie, but maybe they might come up with something like that. I'm thinking of that movie Total Recall. That came out a long time ago. I think that's an 80s movie or early 90s movie with technology. I can believe it a little bit. I heard that the government is actually about 50 to 60 years more advanced than what we know. Like the iPhones you're getting now is nothing compared to what the government has. And I heard that about China, that since China makes everything, that the phones we use is nothing compared to the phones that they use. And I can completely believe that. I believe that technology, we see it advancing every single year. That can be a great thing, but that could be a bad thing too, because I don't feel that humans are socially advancing. We have all this technology, but yet you still don't know if a child giving birth is wrong. You still do all types of crazy things around the world. I don't feel like humans are advanced socially. I don't. Sure, some parts of the world can create the greatest technology, but socially, humans are regressing, in my opinion. in my opinion. Okay. So, but they feel the technology is in the movies first before they bring it out. I can't think of anything I saw in a film that later came out right now, but maybe some of you can. Okay. The world ended when CERN was activated in 2012. We all passed away. We are living in a parallel universe. Well, maybe we didn't pass away, but okay. This person believes that CERN, they activated CERN in 2012. The Mayans talking about the end of the world is coming. And that we are living in a parallel universe. Baby, I didn't feel not one thing happened during 2012. I was gearing up for 2012. I was excited for 2012. You know, the movie 2012 came out and I was thinking, where is it? Where has the world ended? I don't see nothing going down. They said it was going to go down, the Mayans and all this stuff, and nothing happened. I heard about Nibiru, that planet was coming. The planet never came. The Anunnaki never came off the planet to come get us. They were saying that. So this person believes that the world did end in 2012. So we were knocked into a different universe. I don't believe that at all. This person says that is not Britney Spears or Kanye West, probably that they were cloned. I believe anything is possible with that because I saw a video where Britney Spears was talking about things she liked in the past. And then when they asked her what she likes now, it was completely opposite answers. And her teeth had looked different. Her teeth had gaps in multiple parts of her teeth. And her teeth never looked like that. Why would they want to clone celebrities? I don't understand. Unless that whole Illuminati stuff is real. And when they rebel, they decide, like the Stepford Wives in that movie, oh, we're just going to replace you. The public, you know, you're going to make this money for us. This clone has been trained on how to talk, how to dance, how to be you. And if you don't comply, then we're going to get rid of you and bring out the clone. It is crazy. It is crazy, but anything is possible. I do think some things that you see in the movies, they do in real life. I do. I have to be honest with you. Okay. So, the next person says they don't want to heal us. It's not profitable. You know, it's more profitable to the pharmaceutical companies that you stay sick. That's just, of course, it's true. You know, I hear about medicine and herbs, but I never see any of the people who claim this stuff works. I don't see any testimonies. Everybody talks about Dr. Sabi and all these herbs, but yet you never see any of these people who had diseases coming forth showing that they were cured. You barely ever see it. You don't see any proof of it. They never show you how to make the herbs, what to do, how long do you got to use these herbs. Now, it's true that the ancestors use herbs. I mean, medicine and pills do come from herbs too, and a mixture of other stuff together. So I believe that herbs can work. I'm just saying that sometimes it is best to just go to a doctor. Sometimes those herbs do not work, and in some cases, maybe they do work. But the fact is that people are sick. People are getting sicker. They're finding more and more younger people are getting colon cancer than ever before. They're putting horrible things in the food that's poisoning us and making us sick. And it is making a lot of the pill companies very, very rich. I mean, a pill that's $600 here is only $25 in another country. Is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous that this happens over here. And I'm not against herbal remedies at all. Like if you feel you need to go to that, try it out. I would try it out and see. You know, I would try it out and see, but if it doesn't work, I am going to the doctor to get with you know, some stuff that's been proven to actually work and see if that helps too. But it is a money-making business, and that's just disgusting to me. I think that there should be universal health care. I believe that everyone should get a chance to be healed and saved. Like one minute I hear people say they're trying to depopulate the earth. And then the next minute they're saying, oh, you need to have more babies because we need more people on earth. So I don't know what's going on with all of that. But as far as it being money to be made to be sick, that is facts. That is facts. You can't even see It's just when I think about the medical field, insurance, how you can't even get seen for a doctor for certain stuff because of your insurance, that's insanity to me. That's absolutely insanity to me. I think a doctor should just fix the problem and heal people. And a lot of them want to do it, but it's these laws and all this stuff going on. And that's why there are people who also feel, like I said, earth is hell. Because nowhere in heaven would you have to even have insurance just to be able to be healed from a sickness. Okay, so the last, well, not the whole last for the video, but the next conspiracy theory is that there's a reason NASA wanted to stop exploring the ocean. They know something and want to find a way to get off Earth one day. You know what? I have that whole video. Check out my video. It says that people were saying the ocean is outer space. The reason you cannot get to the bottom of the ocean is because there is no end to it. You come up, the aliens are coming up from the bottom of the ocean up into the surface and coming on Earth. Okay, that's what some people believe. And they did discover that there is water in outer space. That is true. Some people even feel like Earth is one big cell in water. You never know what's all, I don't know. I've heard a whole bunch of different stuff, but as far as NASA not going anymore in the ocean, yeah, I find it hard to believe that only 5 to 8% of the entire ocean has been discovered. You would think, why the rush to go into space and not discover what is in that ocean? I guarantee you, baby, it's stuff in the ocean you can't believe. It's stuff in the ocean that you cannot believe is in that damn ocean. Humongous. They did find a giant squid, baby. The squid, there's a squid larger than that that hasn't been found. It's things we can't imagine in the ocean. I mean, seriously? It's all types of life forms down there. The aliens, you want to call them, all of them, they're down there. Everything, so many things you can imagine and can't imagine is in there. I don't feel that the ocean is hell because I've heard people say that. No, just like we have all these different life forms on the surface right here with us, it's another world just like that in the ocean world. And God knows what's down there. It's scary as I don't know what, but it's beautiful in a mysterious way. I wish that the scientists would finally create a humongous camera or something, go as far as you can go. And I showed that video where they said that they saw an eye as big as a house looking at them in the cave system. Some people said it was that dragon type of thing out the Bible, a Leviathan. I don't know if that's real or not. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Okay. And I want to know. I want to know the truth. NASA, they have the truth. The government has the truth. They just can't tell you because you would have a panic attack. Y'all would probably commit, you know what? Y'all wouldn't be able to take it if you knew the truth. It would make you question so much stuff, and they don't even know what to do because there are things more powerful they've come into contact with that they're like, they have to set up shop in another planet just in case. If something goes wrong, if it hits the fan, we got to have another place to go to. And that's just smart. They have the whole seed vault in the Arctic because if a solar flare comes or an asteroid and the world melts apart because of the heat, you got to be able to start over. That's why they have the seed vault, which was very smart to do. So it's very interesting. Yeah, I believe it. I believe there are things in that ocean. And I know a lot of you believe it too. And speaking of CERN, someone had asked me before about CERN. I know about CERN. CERN was a machine, I forgot in what country, where they were going to turn the machine on and they wanted to find out what's in dark matter. What's in the dark part of space? It has some sort of energy. And people were afraid that they were going to open up a portal and stuff from outer space was going to pour into our galaxy, or they were going to make a mistake and open up a black hole in Earth. Once that happens, it's over for us, really. So a lot of people didn't want them to turn on the CERN machine. So I just wanted to talk about CERN. I know what CERN is. How do I feel about it? I don't trust it. I don't trust CERN. I don't think they should turn on that machine because they don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know what could happen. even if aliens or monsters or something doesn't come out of the black holes or energy they're trying to open up, you might, again, if you open up a black hole on planet Earth, you are going to murk us all. It's going to be a disaster. They need to research more before they even try to mess with something like this. Because if you open up something you cannot close, that will be a big problem. A big problem. Okay, next theory. National parks have caves and are connected to many, many missing people due to the wood/wild people. The government took out Marilyn Monroe. She was with JFK and she knew too much. I've been hearing this for so many years. The government's trafficked people, especially in the United States. Princess Diana, her passing away was not an accident. Okay, let's start with the national parks. I've talked about this before. I am very familiar with Missing 411. I know all about it, where you go into the Appalachian Mountains or these national parks and people go missing, children, grown people, and they find them always without their clothing over a body of water. Why a body of water? Their naked bodies are always found. I don't know. But I've heard of people, their bodies being found ripped apart. And when they tested the DNA, it wasn't even human DNA that did it. So, or any animal that they knew of. I believe that there are things in the national parks. There are cave systems that go into the inner earth in the national park. There are things in there, and that's why you will not find any police officers going past a certain point. People only go past a certain point. You hear myths and legends, and God knows what's in there. God, that's why I'm not going, I'm not going camping out there. I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. With the things I've seen in those films, and people missing all the times in the national parks, is very serious, very serious. The government taking out Marilyn Monroe, we will never know if that's true. I don't know what she could have possibly known. Do I feel she was with JFK? There's a strong possibility that she was, but we don't know for sure. What information could she have possibly found out that they would need to take her out? She was on pills. She had a problem with depression and stuff. Um, I don't know. That's just one thing I have to say, honestly. I just don't know. What do you think? Why would the government, what do you think Marilyn Monroe could have possibly known as to why they want to take her off the planet? Seriously, but then again, JFK, they took him out. Maybe he knew something. I don't know. All right, the government is trafficking people. I believe that because it's a multi-million dollar industry. I don't think that all these children, it just doesn't happen this smoothly without people being involved. In all the movies that we've seen, we've even seen women who work in with the police officers who also traffic women. You have that happen. You have women who have been trafficked who end up working for these people. I believe that is very, very possible. Just like pills do not all end up in the United States just out the blue. I believe there are good people in government, and I believe there are wicked people in government. And there are powerful, wicked people in high places who are able to get away with things. Princess Diana. Princess Diana. Oh, okay, we're going to get into Princess Diana. I had mentioned this movie before when it comes to the national forest and stuff. The Descent, baby. I say it every time. If you have not seen this movie, you better see part 1 and 2. This is real to me. Everything that happened to those women when they went in that cave system is true. The national parks, the national forest, all of that, this type of stuff, I guarantee you, everything that was in that movie, I guarantee you that it exists for real in those national parks. Exactly why y'all need to stay up out of them. As far as Princess Diana, oh my goodness, I love Princess Diana, and I was devastated when she passed. Watching her funeral was I just cried. It was one of the worst things I had seen. People just wailing and screaming all in the damn street. Damn, I'm tearing up thinking about it. England's Rose, the Queen. It was one of the most horrible public funerals that I had seen on TV. I had never seen people screaming and crying like that. You know, they loved her. They loved her. A lot of us loved her. She was inspirational. I have a Princess Diana book. I used to like to look at her fashion. You know, she was very stylish, looking at the 80s fashion. And I always loved this look that she was wearing right here with the pearls, her pearl dress, her pearl blazer, the pearl crown. She just looked beautiful. And so many women look up to Diana because she overcame adversity. She overcame an eating disorder, the problems that she was having with Charles, and how she was able to find the strength within herself. And I always wondered, I can't say that it's true that they took her out. I always wondered, okay, she found love with Mr. Fayed, who was Arab. She was a divorced woman. She was free to date again and be with someone else. So I don't know what would be the reason why they would want to take her out if something like that happened. I just have to leave it as it's a mystery. I don't know. I mean, the paparazzi was chasing them down. They did go to jail behind it. And I don't think they planned on that happening to her that night. She is human. She had her heart gave out and she passed away. Do I think did anyone feel anger towards her? Maybe, maybe not. But there are people who believe that she was taken out intentionally because maybe she was bringing shame to the monarchy because she was blending being British and dating a very high profile Arab man. And that would maybe be her children's stepfather. Or the fact that she, you know, back in the olden days, they used to cut off their heads if the women embarrassed the men and stuff like that. And maybe they felt like she was too powerful. And I don't know for sure, but I know that it was devastating when she passed away. The world will never forget that day ever. So, rest in peace to Princess Diana. Okay, the next conspiracy theory is that recycling is a scam invented by plastic companies to make us feel okay with them destroying the planet. So, I don't know. I don't believe it. Anything is possible. One thing I will tell you all is that anything is possible. I'm not one of those people that just writes everyone off as, oh, you're crazy. This and no, no, no. I saw Soylent Green, that movie, okay? I'm not writing anyone off. All right. So, but I do believe that they do recycle the bottles and stuff. I mean, the plastic has to go somewhere. Um, I believe they clean it, whatever process they do, and reuse the plastic for things that they need. I do believe that they recycle. I do. But this person thinks it's a scam to make us feel okay that they are destroying the planet. Okay? Another person said that's not Kanye West. The government is hiding more information than we can comprehend. Oh, yes, baby. You better believe that. Everything you see on some of those movies, the hidden places, the underground cities, the Smithsonian, the files, the X Files, all of that is real. I can't imagine the Vatican archives. Can you imagine what they know? I would love to know. And look, I'm not going to tell. I can keep my mouth closed. I need to know. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. You know, the government, but God knows what the government knows. I can't imagine what they know. And it's not like everyone in the government knows. You have to get up to a certain level. You have to get up to a certain level for them to trust you, to know that you know how to keep a secret, to know that you're willing to even give up your life to protect the people from certain information getting out. And not everyone will pass that test within government. You know, they just won't. So I can't imagine what the government knows. What do you think the government knows? Well, I would say, you know, aliens, werewolves, vampires, mermaids, all types of stuff. Okay. Someone else says, I know that it's memed on, but the DEAD internet theory is believable to me. The fact that the government could likely fix our issues if they didn't profit for them as well. Okay, so I'm gonna say it. The internet theory. I said to myself, what is that? I've never heard of that before. Here it is. The internet theory is a conspiracy theory that asserts, due to coordinated and intentional effort, the internet now consists mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content manipulated by an algorithm curation to control the population and minimize organic human activity. Basically, the internet is fake. That all of you watching me are nothing but bots, and this is an algorithm that has been made specifically for me by these bots to control me and the population, control my mind, and that it's all fake. Everyone that you're talking to, what you're seeing on the internet are fake people that look real. They're bots in the comment sections. They're not real responses. It's fake people. And this has been all manipulated by the algorithm to keep us from having real human connections. We're not really talking for real, for real. You are a bot. You are not a real person. That's what the internet theory is. Do I believe in that? I can believe in a lot of things. I believe half of that could be true, that there are bots being placed on stuff to say stuff to manipulate human beings' mind, the algorithm and all types of stuff, and energy working off of each other, sort of like the Matrix type of stuff, all that stuff. I believe in that 50%. 50% of me can believe it a little bit. What do you believe? This person says we never see our neighbors bringing their groceries. You know what? That's kind of true. I rarely see it. I rarely see my neighbors bringing food. And I never thought about that until I saw this comment. What do you think? How often do you see your neighbors grocery shopping, bringing in food to eat? Okay, that our phones can actually read our minds and hear our thoughts. Getting ads for things I never said out loud 3 minutes after I thought of that. How? How? You know what? Now, there is something called cookies, like when you go to websites and they're like, you allow these cookies. I have noticed that, like, I'll look at something on my phone and then I'll get on a laptop and all of a sudden there are ads for it on the laptop. It's all connected. Everything is connected. Do you think that your phone can hear your thoughts and read your mind? The fact is, though, is that if you do think of something and it pops up on your phone, that's your answer. Because there is no way that's possible. How is that possible? It can't be possible unless it's reading your mind. And if that keeps happening to you, you're not crazy. It is reading your mind. How else would they know to put these ads on that you didn't type it, you just thought about it? So I've seen weird things before, like people I've known from years ago popping up on something. Like, why? How are they popping up? I haven't spoken to this person, and it happened more than once. It's like, no, something is up. Something unnatural is up with that. Period. Okay, the Denver airport. We know that the Denver airport, they said that's a meetup spot for the Illuminati, that there's an underground base or city under that airport for when they decide to try to end the world. And that's where everyone meets up at. Do I think it's possible? Yes, I do. I do believe there are underground cities. I do believe there are portals. I do believe that there are places that only high people in the government know about where they meet up. I do believe that missing children have been trafficked underground. And there's good and evil within everything. There are good people in government and there are crazy bad people in government. And I believe there are all types of sinister things that go on that we can't control, will never be able to put a stop to at large, and don't know about. I really do. Denver Airport, maybe because so many people talk about it now and know about it, maybe they changed the spot. Like, no, it can't be Denver Airport. Too many people know about it. We're going to have to change the location now. So, I don't know. I truly believe giants existed. There are way too many folklore stories about around the globe before traveling to each other was a thing. I used to say to myself, if giants existed, why can't we never see the bones? No one sees the bones. Where are the bones at? But then I said, you know what? I heard that the Smithsonian has these bones underground. Did giants exist? I used to think, first of all, how are human women giving birth to giants? That would literally take the life of a woman giving birth. A big old baby popping out. A woman can't do that. Not no 20 pound, 30-pound baby. Like, come on. And if they did exist, we will never know because the government has the bones locked up somewhere. They have it locked up somewhere if it were ever true. Has there been any proof? No. I see the videos on YouTube. That's just a video. Anybody can make up any doggone thing. I need to see it in person. I need to see the truth. So, is it possible though? There have been, I mean, look, I have a relative who's like 7 foot tall. So tall people exist. Tall people exist. And to a person that's 5 foot tall, then yeah, you would be a grasshopper in the sight of someone who's 7 foot tall. Um, I'll say like I've said before, anything is possible though. I just need to see the proof. I need to see the proof, and if it does exist, the government, in my opinion, more than likely has those bones locked up because it would prove that it was true, that it really was going on. And we'll never know. They said that the Nephilim are usually very tall, very, very tall, like way above 7 feet tall. They have 2 rows of teeth. A lot have reddish sort of hair, 11 toes and fingers. That's what I was told, how they look. I heard there was one in a cave that got kidnapped that the government took. I don't know though. We hear only the government knows, and the government has these things just on a lid. A lot of this stuff, even stuff like Predator off that movie Predator, possibly exists too. Some dinosaur fossils are actually those of dragons. They are depicted across many cultures to be fake. Some missing people that have never been found have been abducted or transferred to another dimension through a portal or something of that nature. The Meg is not extinct. Companies use donations as tax write-offs. Okay, as far as the dinosaurs, yeah, I believe those were the dragons. Those were the dragons, but that would mean that human beings were also on Earth during the time of the dinosaur, and I've heard that before. The land before time. The land before time. Goodness knows the truth that we will never know. It was so long ago. It was so long ago. We don't know. We don't know. All we know now is now, and we have history now, but we don't know the land before time and what it was really like. I can't help but think of that movie Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire with Matthew McConaughey. Basically, the dragon was underground. They were mining and accidentally dug up the dragon, and humanity had to start all over again. Do I think that dragons exist? Yes, I do. I believe that dragons do exist or did exist. I do believe that. Yes, I do. I do believe in dinosaurs. The proof is in the pudding. You can't even touch the bones of dinosaurs at the museum because of radiation. So that tells you that an asteroid or something did come down and take out the dinosaurs, the dragons. I believe it. I also have a theory that some people who are missing are being raised to be servants to people. Like when you see people on TV serving rich and famous people, those are missing kids who have been completely trained to work for free and be security guards and cooks and maids and all that. And that's all they know. And they have no clue that they've been abducted because they got abducted so early. Okay. The Meg is not extinct. We're going to get into that. Companies use donations as a tax write-off. This is very well known that a lot of people do that. I mean, you always hear about people giving money to organizations, but they won't actually go and help the people directly a lot. That lets you know there's some bullcrap going on with that. So yes. As far as the Meg, like I said earlier, there are things in the ocean we cannot believe. I believe the Meg exists. Why wouldn't I? Why on earth, if they could find a giant squid and they didn't think it existed, There is no reason on earth I cannot believe that there is a humongous shark lurking in the deepest parts of the ocean. I believe it with everything in me, and I don't ever want to see it. But I don't know. It's weird though, because I want to know. I want them to tell the public the truth that you saw it. It's there. Um, I think in the future we'll have the technology to be able to get these answers. I do. But yes, I believe that the Meg is not extinct. I believe a lot of stuff is not extinct that people said was extinct. Nope. The Meg is real. I believe it. A whole world is in the ocean and behind the ice wall. I talked about that earlier. Yes, I totally believe that there are other life forms, intelligent life in the ocean. Things again we cannot imagine. A whole world, just like we have our world here on the surface. Beyonce has power of some sort to always win a Grammy and be thanked at the Grammys. Yes, it's a conspiracy. There's a video I saw where Britney Spears looked like she wanted to break down and cry, where Britney Spears was forced basically by somebody to thank Beyonce, and Beyonce had nothing to do with her getting an award. They were doing a tribute to Britney Spears, and she accepted the award, and then she had to bring up Beyonce. I don't know what Beyonce is doing. I don't know what she's into. I don't know why it's like this. Adele, everyone doing this constantly, but it's something going on. Something is going on. Okay, I don't know what she's doing to have these people do this, because Britney Spears looked like she wanted to cry, like she was being forced to do it. Next, the Malaysian missing airplane landed somewhere. I had just brung that up earlier. There is absolutely no way that a plane full of people just disappeared and we never saw or heard anything from them again. And the fact that the news media went on with everyday life, no way. There is no way. Something happened to them people. They were taken somewhere. I don't know if they was fed to aliens or some sort of creature. I don't know if they were transported to another damn dimension. I don't know if they were taken on another planet, but I know something happened to those people. They found nothing. No airplane, no recorder, no people, the children, the adults. Come on now. You know with everything in you that's not normal. Something happened to that flight, the Malaysian flight. I mean, and the fact that no one talks about it to this day is disturbing to me. Okay, the world resets every time humanity reaches a certain level of intelligence. That's why so many places nobody can explain, for example, the pyramids. But why? Why would we reset when we're at the pinnacle of being a human? Why would that happen unless someone became too powerful and had to be wiped out? But why? Why is knowledge wrong? You know, it makes me think of the biblical story about building the Tower of Babel. Oh, the humans are getting too smart. Time to murk them or split them up. You can't be smart and intelligent people. I hate hearing stuff like that, because this is what we are. We're human beings. We're supposed to try to be the best we can be. We're supposed to use our brain. We're supposed to have knowledge and power, but use it in the right way. And it is interesting. The pyramids, in my opinion, was not built by a human. Humans can't even lift the rocks to this day. There is no evidence of any machinery, nothing. Nothing has been left behind to prove that a human being did it. And it lines up with the Orion star system or something. Come on, these were aliens or something. We know it deep within our hearts and souls. I used to believe the humans did it. In Africa, they did it. But once I thought about that, hundreds can't even lift one stone, I said, no, during that time period, something is not adding up. And where's the machinery? Where's the technology? Where is something to prove, to show how on earth they did that? No, baby, it was not humans. That's my personal belief. Some of you will disagree and think that humans did it. I used to think humans did it, but then I thought about it really deeply and I said, you know what? These were aliens or something that did this. Do the aliens look like this? Some of them do, I'm sure. And some of them look like us. Oh, yes. Yes. They have telepathy. They have telepathy. They have technology we cannot believe or fathom. As far as the pyramids go, look, we need some sort of evidence that humans built it, and there hasn't been any evidence presented to the public to prove that humans did that. The weight of one rock, hundreds cannot lift. Baby, come on, show us something. I'm left to believe that this was an alien force that was very intelligent that did this, that lifted those rocks with some sort of, I don't know what they were using. I don't know. But, and if people will say, no, Cerebral, it was humans. You can't even prove that it was humans. You can't even prove it. You have no evidence. There's no evidence. I want to see the evidence. I'm just saying. National parks, we got into that. The weather is controlled by higher power, similar to the Truman Show. The Truman Show is a nightmare if something like that were to be real. The Truman Show is a really good movie, but if that really was real or something like that is happening, that would be a nightmare for someone. Do I think that the weather is controlled by the government? I've been hearing this for a long time, and I can tell you this, the weather is nothing like what it was like when I was little. They will say it's climate change, but then they will say climate change does not exist. It makes no sense that places is 70 something degrees that's supposed to be 40 degrees. Something is going on with the weather. This is facts. And the clouds, the all types of different stuff. Do I believe? I believe at 50-50. I believe 50-50 that the government is controlling the weather. I don't know how they're doing it, if they are, but then there are satellites in outer space and up top. I don't know. What do you think that's watching? Do you have any evidence? It's very possible. We've seen that in some films, and it is possible because they do put things in films. Okay. I honestly think we're in a huge simulation, and The Simpsons is us. Like, yes, it's a show, but I think it's almost a story we're acting out. I don't know. I've had those feelings before as well. You know, some things are not coincidences. Sometimes you might talk to people and it seems like they're acting or like they've been programmed to say certain stuff. Certain things you notice. If we are in a simulation, that is a nightmare. It is a nightmare because there's nothing you can do about it. And the fact that we can be another alien's entertainment, like we don't have feelings or that we're just something they watch, disgusts me, honestly, because we are humans. We do have feelings and we don't want to play along and act out life like it's some reality show. You know, we are living beings. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Unicorns exist or existed at some point in time. I totally believe that unicorns did exist. Totally. And I believe maybe the government does have one, but it's locked up somewhere. Could they be a little bit dangerous? Yeah, if they ram their horn into you. Yeah, of course. But they're also very majestic and very magical. They say there's a lot of majestic things and power that unicorns have. I do believe that they existed at one point in time. Okay, let's see. No one has made it out into space because if we haven't been able to explore the sea, then how can we go to other planets? It doesn't make sense. Like I said before, humans are advancing with technology in some parts of the world, but socially completely regressed. And people don't believe that the moon landing happened. I always say to myself, why would they lie about going to the moon? What would be the point of lying about going to the moon? Like, why? But then I said to myself, too, you know, they never went back. Why did they only go one time or two times? I think twice and never again. Um, I believe that they are on Mars. I think the government has been on Mars for a minute and have been lying about it, but I can't prove that. But she believes that if you can't even explore your own ocean, how on earth can you go to other planets? Well, unless again they found something in the ocean and want to get off the planet, I do think that our Earth should be explored before going to other planets, unless they know something is coming. And that's why they got to hurry up as fast as possible to get on Mars or the closest planet you can be on when this goes down. Like off Paradise, that show that I love so much. The Earth is getting overpopulated. Maybe they know something about a solar flare or an asteroid and they feel we got to get as many humans. And it's not going to be all humans that go. Oh no, it's only a certain select type of humans that they want to go to these other planets. Not all humans are going at all. Eugenics will be happening, in my opinion. But it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, she says if you can't even explore the ocean, only 5 to 8%, how can you explore the planets? They could, but I think that they should be focusing on our planet. Titanic. That's all I'll say. Someone was saying that they believe that the government sunk the Titanic. That was absolutely hilarious to me. Like, I don't believe that at all. I believe it just would happen. It hit an iceberg. It was an iron ship and it went down. You know, I find it very hard to believe, but they believe the Titanic was intentionally sunk. Okay. The ocean is space. I had talked about that earlier. Time travel. They believe in time travel. I want to believe in the moon landing, but I just talked about that. So when it comes to time travel, I believe in time travel. I believe that just like that CERN machine, if like a battery, if you move the energy, rotating it super fast. And in the movies, there's always a body of water because water is a portal, a mirror to the other side. You can open up the wormhole and step through to another time. I do believe that. Some of my favorite movies regarding time travel is Time Cop. Some of you might remember Time Cop. That was a good movie. Stargate, when they basically went to another time, and the portal, they used water and it was a circle as it usually is. You have Stargate and the Time Machine. Oh my goodness, with Samantha Mumba. Amazing. I believe in time travel. I'm not ashamed to say it. I really do. It makes sense, but I believe, like they say in the movies, you can only go forward. Even if you go to the past, you can't really change it. You can only change parts of the future. And I believe that our government has already done this. They already have the technology. And maybe they've seen some things in the future, which is why they want to get off the planet. Or maybe they're trying to make change or change the timeline or something. But yes, I believe in time travel. I don't care how crazy I sound. I believe it. Period. I do. I believe in time travel. Okay, so this is the last, okay? We live in a firmament. I have been hearing this forever and I can't take it. Mermaids are real. That we never made it to outer space because we can't even make it to the bottom of the ocean. If true, there wouldn't be imploding or anything. We are stuck on Earth no matter what. The billion-dollar weight loss industry has made up obesity a disease to keep us in a cycle of spending money on our health while actually only making us sicker and fatter. Aliens built the pyramids in Egypt. Well, I already said I kind of agree with that. We live in a firmament. I have heard this so many times on my channel, and I feel like there's no evidence. Is the earth flat? Are we all just organisms living on a big old rock? You know, we can't go into outer space. There has been no evidence to prove that the moon landing did not happen. There's been no evidence that the rockets we see go. There's a whole space station up there. At least that's what people believe, or what we've been brought up to believe. I want to know from you all, why would the government want to make you believe that you can leave space and it's completely made up? What would be the point of that? And what is the firmament? Because when I look up, I see stars. We see the sun. We see the moon. Are you telling me there's some sort of thick material or something that as soon as you try to get up, you're going to implode or something like that? Like, what's going on? People who are Christian will bring up the Bible, the firmament. That's in the Bible. The Bible is not the whole world. 50% of the world is not Christian. Do not follow that. Do not believe in everything you believe in. And you have to respect that, y'all. People are different and have different beliefs. But you believe in the firmament. And this is a picture. Basically, it's like a cell. You have heaven, which is space, all the galaxies and planets and the stars and the water and the dust. Then you have the firmament, this layer around the earth, as to where you cannot get out of it. Do you know how much of a nightmare that is? I don't know why people get happy saying that you are stuck on Earth. It's like a nightmare to me thinking about it, that I have to stay here. Like you can't explore other planets and get the hell out of here. That's a nightmare to me. I don't find anything good about hearing that or anything happy about it. But some people get happy about it, thinking about it. I find that to be a nightmare. But is it true? There's no evidence that it's true. Just like there's no evidence that there's not a space station up there, that they say there's a space station. There's no evidence to prove they did not go to the moon. You will never be able to prove that. And because I do believe anything is possible, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm 50-50 on it. I will not say that the firmament does not exist, but it's a possibility it does. And it's a possibility it doesn't. The thing is, there are just certain things we ain't gonna never know as a human. Most of us won't. But I find it interesting. There are people who believe every time NASA goes up into space, put satellites in space. I mean, seriously, how do you think the satellites are up there monitoring the Earth and giving pictures of stuff? You're telling me it's all fake? If that's the case, are you saying Earth does not look like the Earth they told us it looks like? That is all made up? I don't fully believe that. But anything is possible. Okay, mermaids are real. I believe it's possible. My great grandma used to say that everything on land is in the sea, and that would include humans. I have seen fish that look very humanoid, but they look horrible. Imagine what they would look like being stuck underwater for that long. Seriously, their teeth and nails grown super long and all that other stuff. They probably don't look as magical as you think they do. But yeah, I believe it. I believe in mermaids. I believe that they exist. I do. Or sirens, as they're called. Okay, we never made it into outer space because we can't get to the bottom of the ocean. We're stuck on Earth. That kind of ties into the firmament thing. The billion-dollar weight loss industry has made up an obesity disease to keep us in the cycle of spending money on our health while actually making us sicker and fatter. I mean, you have a choice. You're either going to eat the food, meat and vegetables, and lose weight, or you're going to keep eating the fattening stuff that makes you fat. Do I think they're putting things in the food that make us fat? Of course. The GMO stuff. I've heard plenty of stories of people going to different countries where they eat the food and they don't feel sick, they don't feel bloated, and they're losing weight while still eating food that's not packed with all types of stuff in it. The weight loss industry is a huge industry. Now you have the food they send you that costs, sometimes it could be expensive, the prepared food on how to lose weight. Weight Watchers has been popular for a long time and it has been proven to work. And it is a business. And I do believe that there are things being pumped in the food and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, you know what you got to give up. You can't drink soda. You can't drink fruit juice. You can't have rice. You can't have pasta. You can't have bread. You can't have cookies or cupcakes. You can't have anything that tastes good. You can't enjoy your life. You have to, I mean, there are different ways now with almond flour and natural ingredients, but it just doesn't taste the same. Your body has to get used to it. But if you give up certain stuff and you eat more natural food that doesn't have stuff in it, you can lose weight. If you eat more healthy, it can happen. But it is a billion-dollar industry. That is facts. That is absolute facts. So that is it. My opinion about some of these conspiracies. What are your conspiracy theories? What do you think about these conspiracy theories? And do you agree with me with some of them? if you have proof of anything that I said, look, I need some proof, you can post the link. Let us know, because so many of you have so many theories and beliefs, and I love it. This is one of my most favorite things to talk about with you all. So let me know in the comments section, all right? Please like, share, and subscribe. Get those likes up, click the bell, click all notifications so you know when I'm live and when I'm uploading. You all take care. Thank you so much. This was so much fun again. Bye, everyone.